us today. There's generally an amazing way to get listings with Facebook. Brian and I have been friends for a long time. When I saw him at California Association of Realtors Expo, he told me that after he spoke for 45 minutes, people were asking him to show them this thing after his speaking engagement was over. So I got really excited and I said, let's do a webinar. So want to say hi to Brian. I'm going to have him get started. But while he's getting organized and we're getting going, can you guys please use your question panel to confirm that you can see Brian's screen and you can hear me okay? And I'm going to knock it over to Brian right now. Just keep on having the questions come flowing. And oh, Brian, all of your friends are here from Northern California, and all of your Active Rain friends are saying hi to you right now.
Hey, I
Kathy,
love my active rain people.
it's all the Active Rate people are coming in. So anyway, hi guys, I'm so excited. It's so much fun when people that you know are on. Anyway, I'm going to throw it to Brian so he can get started. And if you have questions for Brian, just type them in and I'll ask him on your behalf. So that'd be awesome. Go
Excellent.
ahead.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, I know we've been holding everybody up here, so we'll jump right into it. It's like how to get listings with Facebook. So just to get started, let's go through the things that you need to start. For starters, you're going to need, and this is all about. I'm going to approach this thing from giving you the specifics, not the nebulous. Oh, you just need to be on Facebook and blah 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 blah, because that's not going to get you any leads. This whole presentation is about the specifics. So I encourage anybody who's on, if there's anything that's not clear about the details, please ask. That's exactly what I want you to walk away with. Exactly what you need to do this. So what you need to start are pictures of homes in the neighborhoods in which you would want to target your marketing. So these ads are going to target people in very specific areas where you do business. So obviously pictures are what grab people's attention on Facebook. That's the thing that gets the like. That's the thing that gets the click to get into your ad, to get you the lead. So the pictures are everything. If you've got a good point and shoot, that's great. Even your smartphone, probably not the best choice. I've actually hired professional photographers to take mine. Again, it's up to you, but you need really good quality pictures because the pictures are what grab the attention of the people in Facebook. The better the picture, the better the results, okay? So, and the reason for 4 to 6 is because you're not going to just do one ad, you're going to do several. If you have multiple neighborhoods, you're going to need examples of good homes in each of those different neighborhoods. So if you've got 2 or 3 zip codes that you tend to work in, or 2 or 3 distinct neighborhoods, and the style of the homes in those neighborhoods vary, make sure you take the time to take pictures that apply to each one of those neighborhoods. That is going to make a difference. Okay, Facebook business account. We're actually not going to run through in this particular training setting up the Facebook business account. But I'll tell you right now, if you just go to Google and you type in set up Facebook business account, those exact words, it will come back with results that take you to the Facebook guides to walk you through what you need to do. And you do not need to hire a consultant to do this. It's actually pretty straightforward. So you'll need that business account because you have to have the business account in order to do the advertising. You can't do it with your personal account. You wouldn't want to anyway. Next thing you're going to need is lead management system. And the reason I'm making the distinction here of this is not just software is that when these leads come in, you need to have a real clear methodology on how you handle the leads because conversion of these leads is based on that system. And that has nothing to do with the software. There's a lot of different software systems out there where you can, put these people, and we'll get into that in a minute. You're going to need to choose one of a variety of different software packages where the landing pages are. But when the leads come in, they're going to come in through your email. And whether it's in a drip system or something similar, the follow-up is what gets these people to convert. The people on Facebook who are clicking these ads are doing it because it's top of mind at the moment. That's not to say that every one of these people is interested in selling their house right now. Not the case. But you need to have a methodology or a management system that when these people click, they get more than just the automatic drip response, okay? So we'll get into the details on that in a minute. CRM or email drip software. This is going to come with whatever platform you use. So let's talk about some options. Um, uh, Listings to Leads is one provider of home valuation software. So basically, all these ads are going to drop the people who are interested in selling their home into a landing page, which allows them to put in their address and request a property valuation.
And Brian,
Those
that's
plat, yep,
listings. It's listings
listings to leads.
with a digit two, right? Not TO.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. The other one is home value leads, and there's a bunch of others. Those are two of the best and most widely recognized. Almost any of them will work. It's really up to you and what your budget is. I really like home value leads because it's $50 a month for the landing page, and they've got a nice, relatively easy to manage basic CRM in the background with a drip campaign already built in. You're going to want to customize that, but it's pretty effective. So
Can I
for the
actually
bang for the buck, it's good.
ask you a question about that,
Yep.
Brian? One of the things that I've noticed, and I think all the people on the line are probably, when they're doing their investigation, if they're going to go this route, is that some of these products actually will provide like a mini CMA immediately, which I think is a great value for the person that wants that immediate piece, but some
Yes.
don't. So, do you know offhand which ones do and which ones don't provide that kind of immediate, not so good CMA?
Not all of them. Listing to Leads and HVL both do instant valuations. They have a built-in AVM. I believe SmartZip does the same thing, but beyond that, none of the systems that I know of, like Boomtown, for example, does an instant valuation. I'm not aware of any of them at this point that require you to do a manual CMA, but even the automated ones will, on occasion, require a manual CMA. But even if you, let's put it this way, I've done it both ways. I've done these campaigns where you've had to generate a manual CMA. I've also done it where the prospect specifically gets an automated valuation. The automated valuations are going to give instant gratification, which in today's consumers is paramount, right? They want what they want right now. So to retain them and improve your capture rate and conversion rate, the instant valuation is going to get you better results. That's just based on my experience. The downside to doing the manual CMAs is that it's kind of labor intensive. So if you run an ad campaign and you get, let's say, 10 leads, 10 good full contact leads over the course of a weekend, which is absolutely possible, depending on how long it takes you to generate a CMA on all those homes, it could take a while. The option, of course, is that you could create a generic CMA. I have tried that. Generic CMAs that apply to an entire neighborhood across a spectrum of homes are not as effective at the conversion. That's not what people want. What they want is they want to know, what is my house worth? They're looking for an
Awesome.
alternative to Zillow.
Perfect.
So, okay, so let's get into it, right? So, assuming you're in Facebook, okay, so you look at these 3 steps. This just walks you through navigating where you need to go. A lot of people don't even know where the ad management stuff is. So in the upper right-hand corner in Facebook, you'll see the little triangle up there, and when you click it, it brings down, how to use Facebook, right? So if you have your business account, you can see it up here. It's got, my brokerage name, which obviously is I have administrative rights to, and then Silicon Valley Real Estate, which is my business page. And right down there, you click Manage Ads, and then it'll take you into the Campaign Manager. Now, interestingly enough, if you've got a Chrome browser, if you see down under step 2 about 5 entries up from the bottom, you'll see Power Editor. There's the option in creating these ads to use the Power Editor. It gives you an amazing amount of control over where your ads go and when you time them and a bunch of other things. I've used Power Editor. I don't like it. It has nothing to do with the interface. I just think it has to do with how that particular service manages ads. So this training today is going to have you focus on using just the basic campaign management tool. Don't try to get fancy. I don't see that it buys you anything, and it might actually complicate things more than it's necessary. So you click on campaigns. You could also click on create an ad, but if you've created campaigns where you're going to put multiple ads, just going to the campaign page is a better way to start. And then in the upper right-hand corner again, when you're on this page, it's a little shrunk here, you'll have create the ad. And we're going to walk through exactly what you do to create the ads. All right, so when you do that create the ad page, it brings up this. Now, you'll see at the top there it says Facebook's ad tools might not work with an ad blocker. My browser has an ad blocker, interestingly enough. While we're creating an ad, I have an ad blocker. If you don't have an ad blocker, that warning will not come up. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to select send people to your website. The rest of these options over here, promote conversions on your website, boost posts, things like that, there are reasons and rationales for using those, but for these campaigns, you are always going to use send people to your site. That's all you need to know at this point. If anybody has any questions on the reasons for why, that's fine. We can take those at the end. But at this point, you're just sending people to your site. And then in the dialog box here where it says enter your URL to promote, you're going to pick the URL of the page that you want people to go to. So if you sign up for one of these services like listings to leads, then they're going to ask you to create a domain name. And your domain name could be something like NewportBeachHomeValues.com or SiliconValleyHomeValues.com. Something that promotes the idea that the website or the web page is relevant to somebody who owns a home wanting to give their home valuation. There's a lot of combinations of words you could use. You're going to have to go to something like GoDaddy or 1and1.com to check for domains that you could use, but you're going to want to pick a name when you set up the services with the landing pages to do something that reflects that style. You could, in theory, use your existing domain, so like brianrobertsonhomes.com and a subpage under that, but it doesn't work as well. I've tried it, and it's not as effective. So you're better off just picking a good domain name that makes sense. Follow the conventions I just outlined, and you'll do well. So you put the website in here, and it's going to actually scroll down. So this whole thing is a scroll down. It isn't several successive pages. It's one big long page that scrolls down through several steps. The second step that you're going to want to do is who do you want your ads to reach? And this is a really interesting scenario because you can either go really narrow or really broad. What I'm going to try to give you in this presentation is not only what to set up, but some reasons for not doing certain things that you might hear from other places. So let's talk about custom audiences. You don't need that right now. That doesn't apply. But you do need locations. If you have a large geographic area and it's too big, depending upon your budget, you may actually get no hits or get hits that are totally inapplicable to your ad. So you're best off trying to go after zip codes. The problem with that is that not every zip code is in Facebook's advertising system. Okay, and the reason I'm bringing this up is that in San Francisco in particular, there are zip codes in San Francisco that are not available. And so you want to try to do an advertisement that applies to people in, I think it was the Outer Sunset. The zip code for the Outer Sunset is not in their database. So you've got to be a little more generic. What you do want to do, and you want to make sure you do as you're trying to narrow down the audience, is I've put in San Francisco in this example, right? And if you look on the right-hand side here, it says your audience is defined as, and all the variables. It says location living in San Francisco. If you see potential reach down at the bottom of that, you'll see 1 million people. That's way too many, not even remotely close to what you'd want to have. So putting in a city name, if it's too big, is going to be a waste of time. Your ad's going to hit so many people and be so generic that you're just going to be all over the place. So you're going to want to narrow that down to a zip code if you can. If you can't, there's no map-based geography. Okay, so you'll see there it says add a country, state, province, city, zip. Zip's the only way to go. If you can't do anything beyond that, there are other ways to narrow the audience. But you want your audience to be somewhere between 10 and 30,000 people, just depending upon where you are. Age ranges, that's usually pretty obvious, but again, it depends on your market and depending who you're going after. If you're going after, condo owners who might be upgraders, and you want to make sure that the target goes to them, you might want to get your start age range lower. If you're in a more mature market, where the average homeowner is, say, middle-aged, you might want to raise that so that the age range on the ads targets people who are in their 30s and 40s. So picking the right age range is going to narrow your potential reach. I mean, right now I've got everybody from 18 to 65. That's why I've got 1 million people in San Francisco. If I narrowed that down, then that audience is going to drop. Gender, men and women, that's fine. Language, again. The demographics. Here's the thing in demographics. You have the option, based on some of the data that's available in Facebook, to choose people who specifically are homeowners. The problem with that is that you can do that. You can say, I only want to target homeowners. And if you just want to narrow your audience down, that's a pretty good way to go. Most zip codes only have a few thousand homeowners in them, and it's not a bad way to just test out and see if you can really go straight to those people. The problem with it, though, is that the ads themselves, people don't always necessarily put their data in to say they're a homeowner. And a lot of this demographic data and the interests and behaviors data that you see below, a lot of that is purchased by Facebook from third-party resources that may not necessarily be accurate. So you might be missing opportunities by narrowing things down too much using those variables. So, on the other hand, one thing I will throw in there is if you are going to target people in particular industries or people who are in particular companies, let's say you like working with people who are tech workers, for example, and you want to try to capture people who are only working for, and this is for people in the Bay Area, for example, only people who are working at, say, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Yelp. Okay, well, you in demographics can specifically select the companies that have people who are working at those places. Again, the challenge is that if you narrow down to those folks, it may be too narrow an audience. Not everybody puts their workplace in there. So just a few tips so that you know what to do with the data. At the end of the day, again, potential reach should be 10 to 30,000 people. So let's get into the details of budget. How much you spend. $5 a day is the default. That's actually pretty good. You can spend more, but you got to remember that if you're running this ad in multiple different zip codes, let's say you've got 2 or 3 different zip codes you're going to work, whatever your budget per day is going to be scaled across each of those zip codes. Meaning if you've got 3 zip codes and your budget is $5 a day, you're going to have 3 different ads. That's $15 a day. So if you don't want to spend $450 a month on advertising, then you're either going to have to scale that budget back, which I would not do, or reduce the number of zip codes. Or there's another trick, and we'll get into that in a second. Scheduling, start dates and end dates. I do not allow ads to run 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Reason for that is we'll get into in a bit, but I control when these things run. And what you want to make sure you do is set an end date so that you don't lose track of your ads. Because if you're worried about what your budget's going to be and you just set an ad to run and you're not paying attention to it, you can just keep spending and spending and spending. Okay? So set an end date, start date and end date. After that, you're actually going to start creating the ad. So this is the fun part, right? This is what we're getting into, where we use our pictures, where we use the text, what's the ad going to look like, how everything works. Okay, so creating multiple ads. You got 4 to 6 images that you've picked. You can upload all 4 to 6 of those right here. Okay, so you get up to 6 images. In my experience, you really only need 1 or 2 good ones. Now here's the trick. When you're running these ads, you're going to run the same ad with the same picture for, let's say, 2-3 weeks in a row. At the end of that 2 or 3 weeks, one of the things you're going to notice is that the ad effectiveness or rate of return, number of people who are clicking through of it, will drop. So, because people get used to seeing the same picture all the time, and you're only going to get so many people who say, oh yeah, I'm interested in selling my house, I'm going to click that picture. So that's one major reason for having the different images, is because the text can be the same, but if the images change, people will see it as something new, they'll click on it. That said, If you upload all 4 to 6 right off the bat here to create this one ad, it'll rotate through all those 4 to 6 images each week. It will figure out which one has the most effective response rate, and then it'll just keep using that one ad. Again, if you want to have control, which is what I do, I upload one image right here, and then I'll create another duplicate ad, and then I'll turn one ad off, put another ad on. So I control it manually rather than letting Facebook do its thing. When you do it manually, you tend to get better budget control and a better response rate. Next, we get into the meat of how this thing actually works. Okay, so this is probably the most important section of everything we've talked about so far. Lots of really important stuff. So right up here is it's talking about what text and links do you want to use. So this is where we're going to get into some specifics about what to write, how to make your ad work. Connect your Facebook page. I have multiple business pages, so it gives me the option of having more than one. Obviously, Silicon Valley Real Estate, that's what it's defaulting to. And you pick whatever you've got. If you've got multiple different business pages, just pick the one you're going to target. Right below that, you've got headline. You've only got a few characters in here. You do not want to get wordy. It really comes down to the name of the town that you're in, home values. That's it. Super simple. If you want to change up those things a little bit, you can. I'm not necessarily a fan of the variations that I've seen. Home values, just, it clicks. All you're trying to do is get somebody to pay attention. It's the biggest text in the ad. That's the stuff that gets people's attention. So right up here, just says San Jose. You could say Almaden, you could say Newport Beach. As long as you got enough space for the text, whatever you want to do. If you're targeting condo peoples, put condo instead of home. If you want to get only single-family homes, type house instead of home. But these terms specifically work. The secondary text is home values are up. That's a very positive message. I've done variations on that. I've done ads where the text in here said, don't trust the Zestimate. Click here to get a free instant valuation. That's kind of a negative ad angle, and it can work. It does resonate in some markets. I'm not a fan. I'm just telling you what the options are. I want you guys to try out. Every market's different. I can honestly tell you that the ads that I've run between Silicon Valley and San Francisco get different response rates with different versions of text. So I'm trying to give you some of the variations that I've tried so that you have some options. One thing you can get away with is the all caps. I tend to use it with the word free. Free is a very powerful, motivating word in advertising. I would not do all caps on all the text that's there, nor would I do all caps on the first letters of all the words. That does not help effectiveness. So free, that works. If you want to change the wording a little bit, you could add, instead of saying free instant estimate, you could say free market report, free market valuation, free market information. So those words specifically do resonate with people because that's what people are looking for. They want to know what's their house worth, what's going on in the market. And the companies that I told you about, their reports add that value add. So that information is there. Fast and easy, right? You want to get recent sales? That's how you do it. So the call to action button, again, there's a lot of options in here. One of them is sign up. The learn more options, the one that I use for everything I do. Learn more seems to be the most effective. Sign up is a little nebulous, doesn't seem to work as well. Okay, so and there's advanced options. Under advanced options, I did not do the drop down for that because it's kind of a waste of time, but if you're curious, if you were to click that, it would give you the option for putting even more descriptive text in this ad to describe what you're doing or what you're offering. Don't do it. It makes the ad busy. Too much text tends to distract from the picture, and you want people to focus on the picture. Okay, that's what gets people's attention.
Brian, we've got a question.
Sure.
The question right now is, if people click the like page button,
Yeah.
are you paying for that, or only if they click learn more?
Only if they click learn more.
Okay.
And I'm glad somebody brought that up. That's a good question. So the like page thing is a perk. Ads that are liked tend to perform better than ads that are not liked. Plus, you do have the ability to reach out to the people who like those pages. So you'll get a notice through Facebook when somebody likes your ad. That's an opportunity to reach out and connect with these people and network with them. Okay? So they're not going to be in your lead gen because they haven't dropped into your landing page, but you do have the ability to message them through Facebook and thank them. Reach out, right? I mean, this is a contact sport. So take advantage of what this ad does, because even if somebody doesn't click through and say, I want a home valuation, if they've liked your page, maybe they just like the picture. But it doesn't matter. It's an opportunity to network. So that's where we get back into lead management. This is one of those opportunities where you want to take advantage of saying, hey, thank you for liking my page. Are you interested in selling your home? If you're not, do you know somebody who is? That's all you have to do. So in the right-hand side here, you'll notice that the desktop news feed shows a preview of the ad you're creating. That is an absolute must. You must have the desktop feed. That's where you get the most clicks. Right below that, you'll see the little thing that says mobile news feed. It's got a little check to it. That's what you want. The two below them are right column and partner mobile apps. Partner mobile apps is actually new. I've not seen that that's been an effective platform so far. And the right column is a big waste of time and money. So you might get a lot of clicks through, but the click-through rate is, the conversion rate on those ads has traditionally been very low. So don't bother. You're going to end up wasting your budget and not getting any response. So
There's another question from Michelle, and I wasn't going to bring it up till the end, but I think it relates to that. Apparently, she uses Wix for her website, and she says they have an app that costs $9 per ad and says it advertises to Facebook for a whole week. But
okay,
she's asking, how's that possible if Facebook, if you're setting a budget for $5 a day? So, do you know anything
yeah.
about how that works?
I don't, but if I had to guess, it might be a boosted post rather than an actual ad. I mean, it's possible, I guess, that they could post it up there, but